He earned business and petroleum engineering degrees at UT, then returned home to Midland to work in energy lending. He was then tapped to lead Warren Equipment. Under his direction, the company expanded to other countries and tallied more than $1 billion in earnings. Through it all, he gave his time and talent to worthy causes at home and at his alma mater. Now he's chairman of Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas's El Paso chapter. For a lifetime of principled leadership in business, finance, and philanthropy, Richard Folger is more than worthy of induction into the McCombs Hall of Fame.
Well, when I got out of school, of course, the oil and gas industry had started to take a dive, and it worked out really well that in addition to being a petroleum engineer, I had a business degree.
Johnny Warren had formed 2 companies, and Richard had been a commercial banker on their account, and so they became familiar with each other, and then Johnny hired him out of that sector to come to work at Warren Equipment.
We had tremendous growth all the way through the 80s and really took off in the 90s. It went from a smaller company to eventually a $1.6 billion company. We wanted to have big company capabilities.
The company is still family owned, and Richard ultimately became CEO and COO, basically, of the combined enterprises after Johnny died. Richard, as a not a family member, was thrown right in the middle of that. He had to be a good judge of people, which he was. He had to be careful, which he was. There were egos involved, there were personalities involved, and sometimes tense.
If I look back and try to figure out what I'm most proud of, was the ability to be a big company, but at the same time to still know the employees, to still be a family organization.
Richard's a man, I think, that lives by what's called the code of the West. And there's a saying, you ride for the brand. And whatever Richard signs up for, he rides for the brand.
At Warren Equipment Company, we were a broad-based oilfield service company. For us, it was trying to go to places where our customers were going. We were servicing the exploration and production industry. And as they went overseas, we ended up doing the same thing. Being a small company out of West Texas, and suddenly you're dealing with folks in Oman and North Africa, and the project sizes kept getting bigger.
You got to be in there every day, and you got to be thinking about it, and you got to be working hard. He spent a lot of time traveling, he spent a lot of time with customers, he spent a lot of time growing that business. 2014, we made an election to break up Warren Equipment Company and sell off various components. By 15, we formed Colbridge Partners and Burtonwood Partners. And these are family partnerships that allow us to continue to do projects in the oil and gas sector and in the real estate sector.
I came here to be head of the Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas, and Richard at the time was on our El Paso board. He's since become chairman of our board. Energy is critical to the state of Texas and increasingly critical to the country. We now rival Saudi Arabia and Russia as in the top 3 energy producers in the world. Richard, given his background, has great insight into all those infrastructure constraints.
At the Federal Reserve, it's an opportunity to learn something new every day from some of the brightest minds out there. And I truly enjoy that.
He has a thirst for learning, and he's constantly thinking. I think he understands the value of that business background.
So, Richard he's competed with the big guys. He has dealt with the big guys as equals, and they treat him as an equal.
Literally making decisions that change the world. So the way he's lived his life, the way he's conducted himself, how he has made the world a better place to live, I think those are the kind of people that you want to put on the wall of Hall of Fame.